just a little brief tutorial here, not physical tutorial, but just kind of showcasing a way to get drawers under your bed. In this case, I did not want to buy a chest of drawers, but yet I needed drawers, so my space is limited, and I have a queen size mattress here. So the queen size mattress actually sits on rails. There are rail 2x that go across here, probably about 10 or 12 of them that go across here, and then the whole framing part is up underneath that. So the framing on the edge, which you can't see, and I'll show you in a minute, those 2x sit on top. I did not nail them down or screw them down, although you could, because I wanted it to be portable at some point. So those actually come apart, and then all the other fasteners are 3-inch screws. So all around this frame of the bed, you'll see 3-inch screws where the boards meet the boards all the way around. And so those 3-inch screws make it, again, to the point where if you need it portable for some reason, you can have it that way. I just prefer the screws over the nails. Anyway, getting to the drawers, I put 3 of them up underneath, and those drawers are on rail sliders, if you will, that are down at the bottom. You can kind of see the edges of them right there at the bottom. And then went to Home Depot and got 3 handles for them so I can pull them out. And they're sitting flush to the floor, although you don't have to do that. It would take a little bit more framing at the bottom to have them raised up, and so I chose not to do that because the floor is relatively level, and the drawers can be positioned in such a way that if there's a discrepancy up or down, that you could also put the rails up or down. And in this case, I didn't have to do that, so all my rails are basically about the same height, and then the drawers just slide out like this. So it just makes it very convenient to save space. If you don't have a chest of drawers, you need some, you can put the drawers beneath. They sell these pre-manufactured, these type of beds pre-manufactured. They're usually made out of some type of fake wood. When I say fake wood, OSB with some type of laminate on top or something like that, and they have a tendency of falling apart because they're using screws also, some type of fasteners that the fastener actually screws into a metal part or whatever. They're prefab type of stuff. You've seen them before, I'm sure. It comes in a bag full of hardware, and you kind of put them together, and typically made in China. This is not made in China. This is hand fashioned. I built this years ago, and this is all real wood. I didn't paint it, I didn't make it look pretty and all that stuff, because I'm only concerned about practicality rather than what it looks like, and this is very practical for me. In fact, when I have the bed made up and the cover goes over it, the drawers almost disappear. You don't even know they're there. So I'm going to lift up this mattress and show you how I did it. I'm not a carpenter, but again, this is relatively easy, so anybody could do it. Okay, so now that the mattress has been brought up, I can kind of briefly explain how I put this together. The framing actually came first, so what I have here is 2x8s, 2x10s rather, that are kind of 2x9, 2x8.5 or whatever they are. It doesn't really matter the size, I just chose this because it was convenient. Inside on all 4 corners there are 4x4s. So the 4x4s were all cut the same, and then they were corner fastened in, and with the recess, and the recess takes up for part of the mattress. Again, it doesn't really matter what your cuts are. I just chose this way. If you wanted to actually cut the 4x4 a little lower, whatever the thickness of the mattress is, or the box spring if you're going to use one, you could actually cut it to that thickness so that your mattress or box spring would set flush with your rail. That's just the way I chose to do it. Again, I'm not a trained carpenter. I've been doing carpentry work of some sort or another for years, so obviously with a creative thing like this, there are many ways to go about doing this. The side rails are the support rails, and so those are all actually 1x also, and the 1xs go across the back and this side here, and then of course that gives support to your 1x4s that are going across. And as I said, these are floating. These are not nailed down or screwed down. If you wanted to, there's so many of them. What is it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So there's 9 of these going across. So that's plenty of support. You know, it spreads out the weight evenly on them. And if you wanted to, you could probably put a rail in the middle. It wouldn't be a bad idea, but it's kind of unnecessary. But you could do that. In the meantime, that's you know, kind of, as I said, this is kind of a creative thing, like the tile work that I do. So, I mean, literally, you could have this built in an hour, you know, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. And then the drawer part was a little more difficult because obviously you do need the side support. So I put side supports. You can see the two 2x that are there. And then I put blocking on the front. And I actually attached that to the 4x4 that's sitting there. And then this one has also a side support. And then the same thing with this. The blocking ended up being in here. So if you're going to put drawers in here, you need to know the size ahead of time, which I already knew. And the size ahead of time was exactly where my blocking is at, here and here, so that all I needed was a right side rail and a left side rail, because you need something for the drawer rails to attach to, sliders if you will, to attach them to that. And then I think there's one on the back. Yeah, there's one on the back also. So in essence, if you do the math correctly, so you got a 4x4 on each end, and then the equal amount of 4x4s is what your drawer size is. And then of course I built the drawers by scratch, so I already knew you know, that the sizes of the drawers would be all the same based on where I put my 4x4s. And then the rails are just attached, you know, drawer rails as you can get at Home Depot. You attach one, the stable one, or the permanent one goes to those side rails that I showed you earlier. And then the ones for the drawer go at the bottom of the drawer, and you just, you know, cock the drawer up and set it back inside, and it's functional. It works very well, and as you can see, there's a framing for the drawer. So as you can see, it's wonderful for you know, clothes or storage or whatever you want. And of course you have the other side. I can't get in the other side. I could have replicated these 3 drawers on the other side and had 6 drawers all together, which would be the size of a basic chest of drawers anyway. But I don't have access to the other side, so I didn't do those. I could have also put another drawer here at the end if I wanted to. So the sky's the limit if you want to build something like this. Trust me, it's really, really easy. And it's definitely a DIY project. You don't need to hire a carpenter or anything like this. If I were to make these and sell them, God, I could probably make, you know, $400 or $500 off of a bed like this. And it cost me probably less than $100 to build. I'm going to say it was probably about 75, 80 bucks for the wood and the hardware and all that stuff. So that's how you build a bed with attachable drawers.